second graders. This is Miss Lloyd. I wanted to reread to you guys today The Foolish Milkmaid, and we're going to focus on some different things with that reading. So, to help us, I'm going to take myself off the screen. That way you can see. The focus for today that I am planning on working with you guys is to, number one, read with expression, to show the characters' thoughts and how they feel. I know last week we kind of talked about reading with expression with the lion and the man. So this week we're going to do the same, reading with that expression. Another one is looking for word parts that you do know to help you with tricky words. So looking for those spelling patterns that you know to help you figure out those trickier words. And then last focus for today is to look back in the story and find those details to help you answer those comprehension questions. This is going to help you to build your understanding of what you're reading about. So I'm going to click over to this part right here, and we're going to be reading The Foolish Milkmaid. I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit. Okay. So with The Foolish Milkmaid, I want to first start off by showing you what good readers do. So reading with a fluent and expressive voice. So I'm going to reread the story from top to bottom because I know that it was a long weekend, so you might have forgot. So it's called The Foolish Milkmaid. It's a fable by Aesop. Molly the milkmaid was going to sell her fresh, sweet milk at the market. As she walked, she balanced the milk pail on her head. She was dreaming about the money she would make. First, I'll buy some chickens, she thought. They will lay the finest eggs. When those eggs hatch, I'll have more chickens. In time, I will have dozens. I'll sell my chickens and eggs and make lots of money. With all that money, I'll buy the prettiest dress and some ribbons for my hair. Everyone will be jealous of my beautiful clothes as I walk through the town, thought Molly. But I won't care. I'll simply toss my head at them like this. Molly tossed her head proudly. When she did, the milk pail flew off and splashed in the road. Molly returned home with no milk and no money. She had to explain to her mother what had happened. Ah, foolish Molly, said her mother. Don't count your chickens before they're hatched. And the moral or the lesson of the story is never count on things turning out as you plan. So you might have noticed in my reading when I got to parts where a character was speaking, these quotation marks, the mother, I tried to reflect in my voice how that mom was feeling. I also tried to reflect how I was feeling when Molly was thinking and daydreaming about what she would do with all the money she would make. So I tried to think like her, and I tried to show that in my voice. All right. So the next thing I wanted to talk about is I wanted to bring your attention to this part right here. So I'm going to zoom in on this. Just give me 1 second. I want to zoom in on this part right here. And I want to reread that first sentence. So right here it says, she was dreaming about the money she would make. Now in this first sentence, you can see that there is a vowel team that we've talked about before, and this past couple weeks, I should say. And that one vowel team is OU, like in the word about. So that OU in about is making that ow sound. I know last time we talked about the word about and how other words that have this OU spelling pattern can make that oo sound, like in the word soup, it's spelled SOUP. So we already know that about can make that ow sound, and it can also make that oo sound, like in the word soup. I want you to look at this sentence and see if there's another word in here, that just that first sentence, another word in here that has the same vowel team OU in it. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to look through and see if you can find it. Okay, so if you pointed to the word would, you can see right here that besides about, there's also OU spelling pattern in the word would. But is the spelling pattern or the sound that you're hearing in this word would the same as the spelling sound in about? And if you said no, you're correct. In about, we hear that owl sound. But in wood, we hear that sound, like in the word good. But again, though, it is spelled with an OU. So keep that in mind when you come across words, even though they are different or they're the same vowel team, sometimes they can make different sounds. So it's important that you're trying out every sound when you come across those words. So about has that owl sound, and wood has that sound. Wood. Wood. That one's a tricky one. All right, nice job. Let me click off of that. All right, so now the last thing I want to talk about is this little question right here I have for you guys. Because we know that Molly was bringing her milk pail to sell milk at the market, and she was dreaming of making all this money, and she had a certain plan that of how she was going to use the money when she did make all this money. So my question to you is, how did Molly plan to achieve her dream of buying the prettiest dress and ribbons? So she was already planning to sell the milk at the market, but what was her next steps that she was going to do in order to make enough money to buy the prettiest dress and ribbons and make all the other children jealous of her dress and ribbons? So I'll give you some time to think about that. Remember, good readers look back in the story to help them find the answer. Okay. All right, so I got my pen ready. So if you guys said that she's going to buy some chickens that'll lay the finest eggs, and then once those eggs hatch, there's just going to be even more chickens, and she's going to be able to sell chickens and eggs and make lots of money, that you are correct. Because right here, it kind of lays out all the plans. So it says, first I'll buy some chickens, she thought. They will lay the finest eggs. When those eggs hatch, I will have more chickens. In time, I will have dozens. I'll sell my chickens and eggs and make lots of money. And then she goes on to say, with all that money, I'll be able to buy the prettiest dress and some ribbons for my hair. So I looked back in the story to help me figure that out. All right, I figured out what her plan was. So her plan to achieve that dream was to do all those steps. All right, so going back to our focus for today. Today we read with expression to show the character's thoughts and feelings. So I want you to go back and try and read with expression the Foolish Milkmaid. Also, we looked for word parts that you knew to help you with those tricky words. And today we discovered that OU can not only make the owl sound, but it can also make that oo sound, like in the word soup, and also the sound, like in the word good or wood. All right, and then also we looked at finding details in the story. So I asked you a comprehension question, and you were able to look back in the story and find the details that support it and answer those questions. And that really helps you understand what you're reading. So boys and girls, I want to thank you for reading with me today, and continue to use these strategies in your own reading, and that way you can become not only a strong reader, but also understand even more what you're reading about. So I hope you like this video, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.